Good morning, Keller Williams. Josh Abbott here, your tech trainer, with some hot tech tips for you today. Well, I guess these are like lukewarm tech tips. This feature has actually been out for a couple of weeks here, and that is going to be the open house landing pages that we can generate through your new agent website. Now, if you have not upgraded to your agent website, this will not work for you. So you have to go back and upgrade your website, and then you'll be able to check out this feature. I do have a 4-part video series on that as well. So if you have a moment, go ahead, pop over and do that, and then come back and let's hop into some open house items. All right, so as some of you already know, the open house feature that we have within our agent site is pretty easy to access. You're gonna go ahead into any listing, whether it is your listing or some listing, as long as it's populating in MLS, we can do this. And we are then going to go to the address bar and type in /open house. Now, I will say it's very important to note that this needs to be done through your agent website. You need to be populating on this one. If you use anyone else's, this will not route properly. So I'm going to go ahead and hit enter on that website there. And it is going to sit here and load for a moment. It actually is getting quicker and quicker. But if it loads for a moment, that is A-OK. And so we just did that. And now it creates this sort of a page that's just sort of trimmed down. It doesn't have all the noise and details. And this is something that would be great to set up on a laptop or a tablet at your open house for people to sign in when they arrive. Now, when they enter in their information here, let's go with good old Bob Ross. All right, he's gonna be our contact here. And let's throw a phone number in there and make sure it validates that phone number. I messed that up. There we go. And then we hit that button there and we submit that. Great, awesome. So if I was a potential client, walked into the open house, filled out my information there, I then am greeted with this screen that gives me a QR code I can scan. That's going to link me back to that full detail page with all the property information there. Obviously, it shows your bio and all that jazz. But the cool stuff happens on the back end here. So obviously, you would figure that that is going to show up as a contact within Command for you, which you're absolutely right. If we go into Command and look at our newly updated contacts, we are going to see that good old Bob Ross is going to be listed there. We give this page a moment to load. And if we look at it's going to be the updated. Yeah, updated right here. Bob Ross came in as a lead. That's pretty cool, right? Happy that he's visiting my website. But there's a lot more that we can do with that. Yes, it created a contact, but we can customize and we can slice that in a bunch of really cool ways. So the first thing that I would do here, if you haven't done so already, I highly encourage you to subscribe to a smart plan. There's a lot of really good smart plans that are out in the library already. In particular, the one that I'm going to be using is an open house smart plan. It's this open house follow-up smart plan. You can hop into this and check out all the steps and make sure it all works for you. That's not what this video is about, but we're gonna go ahead and add this smart plan here. Now there's a few additional things that we have to add to that list there. Hit the download. I already have it downloaded, so that's why I got that error, but otherwise you'll be all good to go. And that's going to add that directly to your smart plan library here. So I can see right here, we have that open house follow-up smart plan in there. So that's one of the things we need to do to set this up. And the second thing we need to do is to hop into your tab, go to settings, and then we're going to go into command settings, contacts, and lead management. Now this page here is we also sometimes call it lead routing. This is going to perform an action to a contact when that contact is generated. So what we want to do here is create a rule. And we're into this rule title. This is going to be an open house follow-up. And I'm going to put an SP for smart plan. And then we need to select the lead source that this rule is for. And so this essentially is a piece of data that looks at and detects where that lead came from. Did that lead come from another agent? Was it a reference? Did they come through a third-party website? Is it something you just manually inputted? Did they call in from? Did they come in from the main Keller Williams, the corporate portals or anything. But for this one in particular, we're looking at the open house one. So we're going to type in open house. Oops. Or the word open is just fine. Now there are 4 different open house versions right here. The ones that we want are going to be the site ones. Now there might only be one that appears for you, there might be 2, but go ahead and select both of those. So we're going to type in open again, and we have both of those open house sites selected. The other ones that are on that list do not actually pull from the agent website that we just set up. Those are actually going to pull from a different place entirely. So open house site is what we want. And what do we want to happen to those leads? We want to definitely tag them. Tags are great. Every contact in your book should have a tag on it. They are one of the best tools that we can use to leverage and slice data and to communicate effectively with our contacts. So I'm going to go ahead and set this one as the open house tag. And I'm also going to add a test tag here. I encourage you, anytime you're messing around with your database, just trying to explore how some things function, create a test tag so you can get rid of that data when you're done, sort of exploring the features that command has. Now, the last thing after we've tagged that is we need to assign to smart plans. And this is where, once again, we're going to look at that open house follow-up smart plan that we just added to our library. And then we're going to create the rule. All right, and so what that's going to do is that when someone comes and signs up via this open house sign-in page here, that contact is going to be tagged with the test and the open house tag, and then it's going to be assigned to the open house follow-up smart plan. That's a really, really cool way that we can automatically, the moment the person walks in the door, we are going to have a good contact for them. We'll be reaching out to them and we don't have to do anything. And you might have heard my phone go off here just a moment ago, and that's because I got a brand new notification from my Keller Williams app that we have a new contact form from that open house form from Bob Ross or whoever that contact is. So I can hop in, I can view this contact, I can check and see who they are, what's going on, all sorts of things there. And we can see right here under the timeline inside the contact details that they looked at this particular property. So I can click into that property and look and see, and that really helps me understand what my clients are looking at. What gets them excited, how we can sort of continue to engage them. And there is one last feature. As far as setting up the open house, you're set up. I would go through, edit your smart plan, make sure it does exactly what you want it to do, but otherwise everything is set. You don't have to touch it. Every person that signs in for your open house is going to be added to that smart plan follow-up and also be tagged appropriately. If you wanted to go into and really customize each of your smart plans and make them apply to a particular address and that sort of stuff, you can do that. You can create or duplicate smart plans to achieve that. But that's not what we're teaching today for those. The last thing I want to show up here is going to be this login button. So when people come to your website and they go ahead and do their searches, we don't really get to record and see that information. But if they log in, it's going to pair their login with their contact page. And what we'll actually see there, if they wind up saving any searches that they like or performing any searches on their own there, it will pop up in the timeline or pop up under their saved searches. So once again, you on the back end can sort of see how your customers, how your clients are navigating through and what properties are appealing to them via the agent portal. Cool. That's all I have for you today. Just some quick tips to help you sort of keep your data organized and keep your contact points up high with very, very low effort. This takes all of 5 minutes to set up, and it does so much work for you. Please take the time, play around with it. Let me know what you think, any successes or failures that you have with this feature, and I'll see you all in the next video.